Welcome again. I, Anupama Munshi, am working as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Applications, GEMS Vasantganj 2. I am continuing with my video lecture series, Advanced Database Management System, which consists of two portions, the Relational Database Management System, which we did with the MariaDB, both at the command prompt and at the graphical user interface, and the second part consists of MongoDB and NoSQL. Now, since we have done the relational part, we'll be looking forward to the NoSQL part and the MongoDB. Now, to be precise, NoSQL refers to not SQL. When we say not SQL, that means no relational database management system, right? So, since no relational database management system, we do not have the tables, right? So, if we do not have tables, what do we have? How is NoSQL so prevalent these days? Why is it that we are shifting from SQL to NoSQL? So we'll be covering all these things here. What we'll be doing? The introduction to NoSQL and the features of NoSQL. Now NoSQL, as I said already, that is not SQL, not relational database management system. How is it? How does it work? What's the benefit? And is MongoDB the only NoSQL available? Are there some more available? Why are we doing it? So we'll be covering all those issues here. Now, NoSQL database is referred to as non-SQL or a non-relational database management system. When we say non-relational database management system, that means we are not storing anything in tables, right? Because relational database management system is always about tables. We had tables with rows and columns and tuples. We connected one table to the other table. So if we are not storing them in tables, where are we storing them? And why are we not storing them in tables? Right? So, NoSQL provides a mechanism for storage and retrieval of data other than tabular relation models used in relational databases. NoSQL database doesn't use tables for storing data. It's generally used to store big data and real-time web applications. So what do you refer by big data? The data that is being multiplied at an exponential speed, right? The real-time websites, the microblogging sites, the social networking sites, Google, right? So all these have data stored not in the form of tables. Now, what can be the advantages of NoSQL? What can be the benefits that the NoSQL or the non-relational database management system provide? So the first and the foremost is it supports query language, right? It provides fast performance. It provides horizontal scalability. We'll be going into the details of the scalability and performance later on, right? Now, there are many categories of NoSQL. So there's the big classification of NoSQL, and one of the classification is documented databases. One of the classification of NoSQL is the documented databases. Now, why these documented databases we are talking about? Because MongoDB deals with the documented databases. So MongoDB is an NoSQL that is based on the documented databases. Now, what are the advantages of MongoDB? It's schemaless. It's a documented database, as I already said, in which the collection holds the different documents. Like in relational database management systems, we had a database and database had many tables, one database. Similarly, in MongoDB, there are no tables as such because we are not doing into relational database management systems. So there's a database and then there are many collections in a database. There may be difference between the number of fields, the content, and the size of the document from one another. So, since a collection contains many documents, they might be all different. The number of fields, the content, the size can be varying in a collection. Now, what are the advantages specifically of the MongoDB? Okay, we have done of the NoSQL as general, but what are the advantages of MongoDB in particular? The structure of a single object is clear in MongoDB. There are no complex joins, so there is no inner join, no outer join, right? It provides a facility of deep query because it supports a powerful dynamic query on documents. It's very easy to scale, that is both the horizontal scaling and the vertical scaling. It uses internal memory for storing working sets, and this is the reason of the fast access. So we'll be doing it in detail. I'm just giving you an overview. Now, what are the distinctive features of MongoDB? Why should we use MongoDB? It's easy to use. It's extremely faster than our DBMS and it's very lightweight. Where should be using the MongoDB? Where? Big and complex data. That means when data is growing at an exponential speed, right? So you can use the MongoDB. Okay. Mobile and social infrastructure. So this social networking sites, the microblogging sites, content management and delivery, user data management and data hub. All these places, when you have such type of data, you can use the MongoDB. These are the distinctive features of MongoDB that separates it from the rest of the database management systems. Now, for the performance analysis of the MongoDB and RDBMS, or we can say the comparison of the MongoDB and the RDBMS. Now, in RDBMS, tables are using storing elements, while in MongoDB, we are using collections, right? In RDBMS, we have multiple schema and each schema we create tables to store data. While in MongoDB, document-oriented database is used which is written in JSON format and BSON format. Now this JSON format will be talking about JavaScript, right? This MongoDB is almost 100 times faster than the traditional database systems, right? Now, going further, you have the list of usable data types in MongoDB. Now, these are the data types that are string, integer, boolean, double, arrays, object, null, symbol, date. So many varied types of data we can be using. These are the data types that were not earlier available in RDBMS also, right? So these are string, integer, boolean, double, minimum, maximum, arrays, object, null, symbol, date, and what for they are used? String, that is commonly used data type. Yeah. Integer, numeric value, 32-bit or 64-bit depending upon the server which we are using. Boolean, that is only two values, either yes or no. Double, that's floating point values, you know it. Maximum minimum keys, it is the comparators that are used for comparing the values against the lowest and the highest elements. Arrays, storing multiple list of multiple values in a single key. Object, used for embedded documents. Null, for storing null values, right? Symbol, generally for languages that use specific type. And date, we know it. In Unix time format, we are storing here the current date and time. Okay. Now, how will you install the MongoDB on Windows? Right? Now, what is the procedure for installation of MongoDBs on Windows? Again, it's an open source DBMS, no SQL. So you can go to the appropriate version. It's a link. You can choose the link, go to select programs, accessories, right? Then you have to install it. You have to check. So what's the configuration of your system? What type of operating system you have, 32-bit, 64-bit. So you can install MongoDB in any folder because it's self-contained and does not have any other system dependency. A data directory is required in MongoDB to store all the information. By default, the data directory path is data and DB, right? We can create this at the command prompt. So that's md data and db. So how do you start the MongoDB? This is just going through it because you know it. So start the MongoDB, run MongoDB.exe file, command prompt, you can run it in program files, MongoDB bin, MongoDB. This will start the MongoDB database or process. And if you get a message waiting for connection in the console output, it indicates that the process is running successfully. This is how you'll be installing the MongoDB. We'll be continuing with the programming or say creation of databases and collections in the MongoDB in the next video, right? Till then, you download it, store it and install it. Thank you.